Do I look like a crazy astrologer? Mwahaha. No, I'm just kidding. Just wanted to make a quick short video on a little thought I had today about how our astrology chart sort of looks like a tree of life, our tree that we are. So when we're born and our ascendant is rising at the horizon, there is half of the earth that is in the dark and half of the earth that is in the sunlight. Um, and so this sort of represents, I like to think of it as a tree. I like to think that our roots grow into the first six houses of a chart. So in a Western astrology chart, it's represented by the um, sort of lower side of the circle. In a North Indian astrology charts, it's represented by the left side. And the sunny side, the side toward the sun that is illuminated, is the top half of the circle or the right side. In a North Indian Vedic astrology chart. And I like to think of it as a tree. Your roots grow into the first six houses, into the darkness, into the earth. Um, and so it's interesting actually that the eighth house of darkness is actually on the light side when you think about it. Um, the darkest spot on earth for you when you're born is your fourth house. And that is the house that represents the mother. Now, why is the mother connected to the darkest part of the house? I think it's because our mother is, well, or the mother is supposed to represent, or the fourth house represents that nourishment and deep nourishment that we get in our darkest moments. So, like, when everything is not going right, everything kind of goes to shit, you can go and go into your mom's arms. I mean, ideally speaking, again, you can go into your mother's nourishment, into her bosom, and just sort of be caressed and nourished by her or her energy, to be able to kind of come back to the rest of your path. So it's really important to make sure that our roots are well grounded, well nourished into some good, solid, mineralized soil so that our tree can grow tall and expand and express itself in the outer society, which is sort of the trees of the 8th to 12th houses. And it's interesting that the eighth house is on this sunny side, and that's because the eighth house represents transformation. Um, it represents like that transformation coming out from the dark. The seventh house is like you're just coming out. Seventh house is pretty sweet because, well, it actually is the sunset because it's on the other side of the horizon. So it's where, um, so it's sort of, yeah, where the sun, the sign that is on the opposite side of the horizon when you're born. The sign might not be there, but the sun sets in the seventh house at the on the western horizon. And so that's kind of like a sweet spot in between light and dark. But then the eighth house is like, yeah, you're really coming from the dark and you're coming into the light. So the eighth house is actually a pretty awesome place. Some people think it's really dark and sucks, but it's pretty awesome. The darkest place is the fourth house. And once we overcome our fourth house or nourish our fourth house or come to an awesome place in our inner contentment, that even though perhaps we didn't have a very nourishing, loving mother in the traditional sense of the idea of the mother, we can still sort of find our own sense of nourishment and our own inner peace and contentment, and our own rituals and things that give us nurturing, giving us a good space in which to live, which is the second and sort of fourth houses, giving ourselves a good network of friends, um, giving ourselves an outlet for our creativity sort of within our circle of friends, within our homes, and having a daily routine and ritual that supports our health and lifestyle. These are the roots of any kind of external work that we will be doing in the outside world when sort of our tree branches grow. So if ever you're finding that you're trying to do something in the outside world, you're trying to serve people on a greater scale. You're trying to move up the ranks in your company, which is more of a 10th house kind of thing. And things aren't working out, look to the opposite side. Maybe you're lacking in the nourishment of the fourth house. Maybe you need to give more attention to your own mother. Perhaps you need to give some care to your home and to your body and to your family. And only by balancing that will you then have the energy to boost up and be able to shine and blossom into some houses like the 9, 10, and 11th houses, and kind of shine out into the world and do what you need to do. So I think that's all I wanted to say about that. We are all sort of our own trees in a sense. I like plants, as you can tell. We need to grow our deep roots, nourish our roots into some good earth. And if you didn't get that in your childhood, well, don't fuss about it and don't complain about it. Start adding in some compost. And you know what that looks like? Sometimes it looks like shit. You're going to have to go through some shit to nourish the earth, to nourish those roots. And if you can learn to transform those experiences and to transform that compost into some really rich stuff with which to nourish your roots, then you're going to thrive and you're going to be beautiful and you're going to serve the world in awesome ways. And that is all I can wish for everyone watching this. So thank you.